Welcome to Clixed Off, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at LuckyDiceCafe.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, and Tylor Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clixed Off today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everybody know that Clixed Off is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, the world's largest HeroClix retailer. Find HeroClix new and old on TrollandToad.com and use coupon code CLIXEDOFF for 5% off your HeroClix order. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. If you like what you're hearing today, check us out, patreon.com/ClickStuff, $1 and above gets entered into our monthly giveaways. $5 and above gets entered into our Discord server for exclusive HeroClix strategy and tactics discussion. And joining me today is Tylor Spees.
How you doing?
And then our guest tonight is Paul Cote.
Wow.
I had to allow myself to do that one time so I wouldn't do it in the episode later.
Wow.
Because I'm pretty sure we've had Jesse on before, so I didn't want to get y'all too mixed up. I almost tagged him in the question post because he came up. He was the first Cote to come up in my tags. So
You guys are brothers, right? I didn't just make that up in my head.
We are brothers, yeah.
Okay.
Crash brothers.
Gotcha.
So, well, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm glad to have you on. You brought it up, so Brad Boyles wants to know what's the story behind Trash Bro between you and Paul, or you and Jesse. See?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Trash Bros. We just really like the Bash Bros going up because we're San Jose locals, so Oakland was not too far away. We do the little Bash Bro thing. The little, not fist bump, but elbow bump. I don't know what it is. Forearm bump. And also because for a while we were kind of there's a lot of players in our local area that kind of, once we won a map or whatever locally, we try to goof around, play some different things, and try to see if we can top 8 with a certain figure. kind of playing with trash. There's I don't do it as much these days because I'm when I'm at the broadcast events or whatever, I kind of have to step my game up because there's really good players there. But,
Sure. Okay. Makes sense. I don't know who the Bash Bros are.
You don't know the Bash Bros?
No, you had yeah. So I didn't know either. I was hoping Tyler would be like, oh yeah, the Bash Bros.
No,
okay,
I'm assuming it's wrestling.
No, it's Oakland A's baseball.
Oh, do not watch baseball at all.
What?
Okay.
So wait a minute.
It's probably
Jose Canseco. It was Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire.
Yeah, we're called the Bash Bros.
But they were okay. Wait a minute. Wasn't Mark McGuire on the Cardinals?
Eventually, yeah. In his, yeah.
But that's where he became famous. That's where he was famous at, right? Like that's what I knew him from a child, from when I was younger.
Are you trying to prove that I'm old?
No, I don't know. Tyler's younger than me, so.
No, it's yeah. He went to the Cardinals after the.
So, but
I think it's probably
he broke his record when he was at the Cardinals, right? That's why I would know him from. That's why I'm not a big sports person, right? So.
Right. it's probably a bigger deal if you're from California.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say you're gonna be making some Oakland A's fans upset.
Yeah. Oh, all two of them that I know. So, all right. Well, that's cool. So, so two questions to start out with you. All right. So we've got you on today because you won the 31-player win-a-case up in Washington somewhere. I think it started with a B, Bellingham. And
did you drive or did you fly?
We drove. We did the Ironman.
How far was that?
I was like 13 hours.
Oh goodness. That is definitely further than I think the farthest I've driven is like 9 hours maybe.
Yeah. It was really fun though. It was a great event.
Wait a minute, I didn't realize it was that far. I knew it was a minute, but I didn't know it was that many minutes.
Because you guys are in like Southern California, right?
No,
we're Northern California. We're in.
How is it Northern California? Is still 13-hour drive?
Wait a minute.
Man.
So I guess
big.
California's a big place.
Yeah, California's huge, but northern, like San Jose, is in Northern California, but there's still a third of the state on top of you.
Jeez. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Dang. Okay.
It's San Jose is really kind of almost mid California, but
Right.
Sure.
It's very LA centric,
Right. It sort of pulls everything south.
Yeah, just kind of like the Midwest is like, I don't know if this is really mid.
Sure.
This is
Sure.
kind of-
Yeah, it looks like you're on like the same longitude, I think, as we are. Just kind of latitude, just kind of eyeballing the map. So, and
Dang,
then
well, hats off to you. That's
and
a drive.
Yeah, and then coming in and joining us as well is Mr. Jason Alvey today too. So,
Hello.
so yeah, I was just looking. I didn't realize it. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that far. Oh yeah, because wow, Bellingham is north of Seattle as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it was like that's pretty much just like basically Canada.
It's probably closer to Vancouver than Seattle.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at Google Maps right now. So, wow, that's awesome. That's quite the dedication. That's further than I've ever driven for an event. I've definitely flown. I've flown out to the West Coast before.
Right.
But driven, I think about 8 or 9 is as far as I've ever went. And that was part of a vacation. So we didn't actually like iron butt that at all. So,
right.
So, well, that's cool.
Like a mini vacation.
A couple of questions that I have for you in general. First one is, it's a two-parter.
His team first, maybe.
Well, no, because we've never had him. We've never had him on the podcast.
Oh, you are correct. I apologize.
Right. So the first question is a two-parter. The first one is, what got you into HeroClix and how long have you been playing? And then the second half of that question is, what motivates you to play high-level HeroClix at a regular basis?
The person who got like, I don't know if do you know Justin Sly? You might. He was living in Ohio for a little while.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, Justin. Yes.
I thought you might.
Yeah, I think he's played in a couple events out at Lexington before. Tylor wouldn't because he's not that great with names, but
no, I have no idea.
Yeah. I think Justin famously had the he had something with Overdrive on his team and Doc Ock at some point on the West Coast.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly what, but it made the HeroClix headlines. So
yeah, he's doing. It was like a Sinister Six team with like Doc Ock and Overdrive.
Yeah, it's a fun team.
He and Jesse, obviously were childhood friends and stuff. He was from California originally. Then he moved to Ohio, and I think some other people on the podcast may have heard of him. But that's who got me into it. and my brother. And the first booster that I bought was of Earth X, and I opened a Chase Captain Venom. And then I was able to, because I was a little, watching my money back then. I was able to sell that for like a bunch of different. That sold for like, and I mean like sold on like, I think it was Toad and Troll. It might have been like 160. Like they bought it.
God.
And it was like cool. So
I
like,
do remember when that piece came out. It was very hyped up.
It's still really expensive.
Probably like $80 or something. Yeah.
Oh no, it's still triple digits, Tyler.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's
God. Okay.
After it's retired for like over a year now.
Yeah.
It's still up there. Because it's a Venom, but it's kind of like a luxury item. So I don't mind selling it and buying a bunch of like
sure. Actual things you're going to use. Yeah.
Like Oz, or I don't remember what else it was. Phil Coulson used for
great piece.
Yeah, it was cool. So so that's what got into me. What makes me want to play competitive? There's some very good casual games that I've been in, but like it just seems like the how do I say this? It just seems like the etiquette is like really like mixed. Like
sure.
It seems like there's like if we're gonna do competitive, we might as well do competitive. I like that more than just like the tone is that they want people to tone it down, but like.
Gotcha. So say whenever it comes to casual, right there, you don't know exactly what to expect on a given event or basis or venue, but when you play competitive, the stakes are the team building is known, the stakes are known, the expectation is universal across the board.
Right. There's like how casual is everyone gonna be, like that kind of thing. So. And just seems to be like gatekeeping and arguments as to like if it's fair or foul.
There definitely everywhere I go there seems to be like a local HeroClix politics type thing, like just like So I get what you're saying.
Right.
So I just rather just be like
do the best you can.
Here's the rules. Do the best you can.
That's right. Sure.
And just and have fun. Be friendly with everyone. If you get beat, just like be like, "Dang, I didn't see that coming," or "Your dice were hot," or something like that, and just
Yeah, I know. We've played a few times, and it's always been a pleasure playing you.
Cool. I've always felt like there's a lot of really good competitive players out there.
So,
all right.
The other question I have for you, as part of your interview, so this afternoon I was talking to Mr. Chomps. Are you familiar with Mr. Chomps?
Mr. Chomps, the alligator? Yeah.
Well, he's not just an alligator. He is our nasty ass wrestling alligator.
You missed an adjective.
Yeah, you missed his very key adjective there. And so I was talking to Mr. Chomps, as I do all the time, before I have a guest on, and he was looking over some of your accomplishments, and he looked at some of Jesse's teams, and we were talking about it. And he wants to know, would you wrestle Mr. Chomps, the nasty ass wrestling alligator, to the death, or have to play the same team as Jesse for every event going forward?
Oh, the same team as Jesse.
Yeah, you don't mind that? Yeah. That's kind of true, because he switches the team a lot. If it was like me, then he'd be playing the same team for 2 years, right? But with Jesse, you get some variety.
Right, and I did think about like whether it was Jesse or Tyler, like in the question, right? So, would your answer change if it was Tyler? Would you go for wrestling if it was Tyler?
I don't think I could play the same team over and over. I don't like. That's just not my style.
Sure.
But the funny thing is, a lot of times the team I'm building, Jesse ends up running, or the team Jesse's building, I end up running, because we kind of not so much anymore, but we used to be a little bit more regular in our discussions and practices and stuff. Sure. And it'd be like. It's just hilarious. We have different work schedules, so there's a lot of events that like we're preparing for, and then I have to not make it at the last minute. He's able to, and then he plays the team I was playing because it was doing better, like
sure,
or the other way around. So it's just it's funny that works out.
Sure.
So okay, all right, well. Mr. Chops, depends on whether or not he has to play Tylor or Jesse's team. So, Chops is well aware. So, all right. So you had the big win this past weekend, 31 players. Tell us about your team and tell us what you played, what your record was. Obviously, you won, but what was your record? And then what your team was, what your record was, and just any interesting tricks or strategies you would like to share.
Sure. So it was kind of just themed good stuff. With so the team was Blackheart, Wrecker, Chip, Molecule Man, Felix Faust, Gorilla Grodd, and then Flash, emotional multiplier. So it kind of feels like some of those are what is on every single unthemed team these days.
Did you only play one Flash?
Just one Flash, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Points are tight. Points are tight, and I really wasn't doing as much TKing as I was really doing more copying the Green Lantern team ability and just running the whole team up.
Yeah.
So it's a little like a dropship team. Oh, it is a dropship team, but unlike some, it spreads out a little bit more than some dropship teams. So normally I guess the most famous is Tanimals. Wow. Always animals. You bring the whole group up and then they all swarm on one thing. This kind of so Green Lantern or Flash. Oh, sorry. First, it has enough defensive capabilities to not get totally sky tyrant or whatever.
Sure.
And then on its first real turn after first turn immunity or whatever, Flash is copying Green Lantern team ability. He's charging 7. He's charging 7 again. Depending on how far back they are, I can kind of in one game they moved up a little bit. So there were some people that I left behind on the first charge. But the idea is to get your Blackheart and Wrecker can attack after being carried. Chip can create a
mitt.
Yeah, little mitt that can just try to make a troublemaker. Usually that is because Wrecker creates a flurry pog. Blackheart does a running shot. There's an empower in there. There's the there's a lot of what I call manufacturing. We call manufacturing runs, manufacturing offense.
Sure.
Empowers can empower everyone. You don't have to just perplex one person. Emotional modifiers lowers everyone's defense,
which Faust helps with. Yeah.
Faust helps with, yeah, and Wrecker, his team ability will act like that sometimes.
Yeah. The Pogs have it too, right?
The Pogs have it too. So there was like, and that's one of the few things that can work with the Pog that Chip makes. Because lowering defense is fine. You can't
Right,
raise.
yeah. I found that too.
And then like after the actual attacks, then it can like disrupt you with it has 2 to 3 outwits, because Wrecker can make an outwit Pog if he really needs to. And some of those are long range. And the other way it disrupts is Smoke Cloud plus Gorilla Grodd.
Yep.
And sometimes it's, I think you've talked about this on this podcast.
It just wins games sometimes.
And I think you've mentioned there's enough. If you have enough attacks, you then create a Black Manta.
Yep.
Change it
Then
into
switch it to water.
and there are some games where you would double token major figures, and oh wow, that's so
free that happened. Yeah, that's fine.
So it's not quite as, it doesn't have quite as much punch as some other dropship teams, but it has a good amount of control, I feel.
1, 2. So I agree. The team, I'm looking at it and I just keep seeing things. So you're right. There's a lot of stuff here. So just to say it out, the possible attacks you can make is maybe a flash attack. You can drop the Wrecker Flurry. Blackheart can running shot energy explosion or just shoot for 3. Then you have the Molecule Man Felix Faust thing, or Molecule Man Gorilla Grodd thing, the Pog, and then any rolls. So that's a lot.
There's often like a Black Manta coming out somewhere in between there.
Yeah, for sure. And you having power on all of that, obviously. That's a really strong team. Just looking at it, it probably has more offense than Animals for sure. My concern would be going second, obviously, if they can cripple you enough. But
right.
So all right.
So you avoided that.
I'll get into my question here, and I have an assumption that I have made on the finals game, and I don't want to share that assumption until you share some of the details about the final game. Because I think the answer, the question I have to be answered is that you lost map to a Sky Tyrant. It's kind of the simple answer. So talk to me, like, what happened in finals and what was the score like? You know, what happened there?
Okay, so the finals. Chip was in the finals. Chip was playing a Latverian team.
Right. I've got it here if I can share it.
I thought we were talking about the figure. Okay, I'm with you now. I'm caught up.
Yeah, so he was playing Doom the Annihilating Conqueror, Sky Tyrant, Dark.
Yeah.
Doom the
name of Chip.
Yeah, Doom the Annihilating Conqueror, Sky Tyrant, Dark Phoenix, Molecule Man, Mr. Oz, Charge Flash, TK Flash, Emotional Modifier, Waldo Arms, and a Remaker Ring.
Wow. Right. Well, nobody's playing that variant anymore.
Funny thing, I was very close to playing Latveria. That was so funny thing was that was one of the teams. Mine was a little different than his, because I had Captain Marvel that I was wanting to protect Sky Tyrant with Captain Marvel in case I go in second, and then do like. I also think he's just a good figure that goes well with, like, you know, the range increase is just good. Yep. So I had actually practiced this matchup or something similar to it. It was one of the few matchups I had actually practiced.
Sure.
So, you know, it's not that hard really to have enough barrier to force his Molecule Man out. And even once they go up, like, so his Sky Tyrant killed 3 things, but they weren't things that I found to be important. Like, I could still do my combo, most of my combo, with him having done that. And in order to do that, he needed to walk his Dark Phoenix up and sidestep up
to carry Molecule Man.
Carry
Molecule Man into position.
Okay, perfect. So all right, I'm all right, perfect. So sorry, it confirms my assumption. So Chip's build sheet had just 2 maps on it, and it looked like it had Latverian Village and Sentinel Factory on it. So I had made a comment in one of the groups about like how IRL play is different from in-person play or online play, and I'm like, yes, there's the example, because those 2 maps that he had were not the right maps for your matchup. It was not the right matchup. It was not the right maps. Like Iron Man's Workshop or one of the 4x4 maps, specifically Iron Man's Workshop, are must-have for that kind of matchup. Because he doesn't have to walk Dark Phoenix out. He TKs with Oz, TKs Molecule Man with Oz, and then TKs Sky Tyrant with Flash for the 10 square TK. And then that is enough range to remove the barrier, hopefully. Assuming you don't roll a 1 on your convert.
Okay, so you're just saying a 4x4 starting area.
Specifically Iron Man's Workshop, right? So
okay.
my point there would be that there is nuance to every one of these things, IRL versus online play, that makes a huge difference. So I noticed that instantly. I was like, when I asked Zach, I was like, who won map? And Zach was like, well, Chip did. I'm like, well, R.I.P. Paul. I'll just admit it. I mean, that's what I said. And then you won, and I was like, well, what happened? And I went back and looked at his build sheet, and I was like, oh, he didn't have the right map for the matchup. And it looks like he scribbled out a 3rd map. But so, and this is not a negative thing on Chip or whatever. I know the Eagles sometimes don't particularly care for us. But it's just those little things that make a difference, right? Because if you're playing online, yeah, I'll just add in Iron Man's Workshop. But if you don't actually own Iron Man's Workshop, or forget it, or don't bring it the day of, or don't leave the house with it, or any number of things that can happen with IRL play, it makes a huge difference. So that's my point. And I'm not saying, Paul, that you would have just lost if he had Iron Man's Workshop. But the fact that he had to bring out Dark Phoenix to carry Molecule Man if he was on Latverian Village makes a huge difference.
We're just assuming he would have picked a different map if he was online.
You know what? No, I'm not assuming that he wouldn't have made that mistake online. I'm just saying.
It's everything you're saying. It sounds like that.
Well, that's the point I'm making in general.
Well, Dan's had a lot of time to think about Latveria.
Right.
True.
I've played a lot of Latveria. I've played a lot of Molecule Man.
Played a lot of Sky Tyrant.
Played a lot of Sky Tyrant. I also have played Iron Man's Workshop on nearly every one of my builds, including Thanos and Emperor Gladiator this year. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that where, yeah, he may not have had a 3rd map online, but it looks like if you're filling out your build sheet that there wasn't a plan for that 3rd map in there. Or maybe he forgot it, or any number of things. So maybe, I don't know, Paul, you can...
The lesson I get from that is practice is OP. Because, like, I know one of the Eagles was buying a house, and, like, you know, that there was maybe some things to iron out. But that's what I get out of that, is just, you know.
And practice definitely helps. I can confirm that.
Yes. So, it's just one of those things that, like, I see that and I'm like, that's one of the small nuances that you miss.
Yeah.
With in-person play versus online play. And you know, I don't know, maybe if Chip listens, he can provide a comment to it as to the otherwise. And it's not again, we're not calling out Chip or anything or whatever. Nothing negative here. Just something that I noticed. So that's what stuck out to me in the finals. I was like, that was the nuance that could have made a difference for Chip.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't playing Power Gem, so he couldn't have KO'd Wrecker on his alpha unless he rolled the free attack But then that was just putting all 3 attacks into Wrecker.
Do you have walled arms?
Yeah, he had walled arms.
Pretty good.
So,
yeah.
but I think you know, did he roll to convert? What was his role in his convert, Paul? Do you remember?
6.
Oh,
it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But like I was hiding Wrecker. Wrecker was the
yeah. Obviously, you're not going to let him just hit Wrecker.
Right.
So what did you let him hit? What did he kill in his opener?
I actually didn't. So I practiced it, and then I didn't do it the way I practiced.
Happens a lot, I find.
So I was supposed to make a pog, and that's one of the cool parts about just being able to make a pog and just have a body block.
Yep.
And just didn't because it was like you know.
Yeah.
It was a
his
long
last round of a long day.
It was just like. Yeah, so he ended up killing a lot actually. He ended up killing Molecule Man, which I don't mind having Molecule Man dead. He killed Pip, which I don't mind. He already did his job. He gave Flash the Green Lantern TA.
Yeah.
And then I think that's all he killed. He might have killed Flash. I don't remember.
Maybe Grodd? Huh.
I don't remember if he killed Flash then or killed Flash soon after.
Okay. So he came up hit, he moved 12 away, right?
Yeah. That's still enough for me to chase him down.
Yeah, but then but he had to move up Dark Phoenix, so you had a lot to hit.
Yeah, so I could kill Dark Phoenix on the running shot, and then I was able to get the Flurry Pog to Sky Tyrant to go on him.
Right.
Is it 10 for 3? No, is it 10 for 2?
It's 10 for 3.
And he has a power, so it's 10 for 4?
Yeah.
Ooh! Yeah, that's scary. The old double smack. Okay.
And yeah, it was yeah.
So this team obviously it's unthemed, it's good stuff, right? You put the things that are the best on here. So is this you saying you think Wrecker is one of the top 10 pieces in Modern?
I think it just fits well with what was going
That's
on.
fair.
So,
That's fair. Yeah.
So I don't think it's one of the top 10 pieces. I think it's really, really good. I think it's really strong.
I think you maximized it really well on this team. There's a lot to synergize with it.
And so there was other things I considered. Maggot and Duke Thomas, I think, could do just as well. I think. But like, why did I go away from that? I don't remember.
Wow, the Wrecker Pog has Flurry.
You know what?
Yes, one of them does. Yeah.
This is why I went away from that. I just practiced more with Wrecker. I just was more familiar with it at the time, and I thought that there was like people keep like hitting in practice. People kept like hitting Wrecker for 3 with like I penetrated.
That's not a good idea.
Then he goes to these stupid things. You don't kill Wrecker, leave him alone.
Yep.
You can if you can't kill him, do not let him go to his like flurry combat expertise.
Yeah, 12 for 4 or whatever.
And he gets but like I had Wingard there for a while because I was playing like a kind of similar team with Blackheart, Blackheart, Wingard, and Jason Esparta because it's Bronze Age. So I had a lot of experience doing that, but emotional modifier kept really hurting Jason Wingard. Like he feels so easy to kill if your opponent has emotional modifier, and his offense is just not as cool if you're like. And it feels like that. It feels like everyone's picking up an emotional modifier these days.
Yeah,
like it's just the thing to go to.
It is very powerful. I think the other question that I had is that you did get a mission point win, right?
Yeah.
You did.
So Paul, I want to. I think you actually get the first one.
What do you mean?
So The one happened in Florida last year, but that was 400 Silver Age.
Sure.
Okay, and then PJ got one.
Yeah.
But
okay.
that was in 3v3.
Oh, I don't think that.
I'm not okay. I'm just presenting the facts as they are.
Okay.
I'm not providing an opinion. These are facts, right? So Paul's was in a 300 modern 1v1 non-Highlander tournament. So
Clixed in its purest form. Clixed distilled.
Right. So take that as you may, Paul. Tylor obviously is bucking at it here. What say you, Jason? If you're, Jason's on mute. Jason's not probably not here tonight. So
you are technically correct. It is the first 300 modern 1v1 mission point victory.
Yes, in a competitive 300 modern tournament.
That's crazy. How did they just let you do that?
Oh, so it was against Thanos.
Sure.
I ran to their side of the map. I killed the support. Then he ran to my side of the map, and I was not in a position to chase him down. So I just
sat over there.
I just started wrecking walls because it was like
wreck it. I'm gonna wreck it.
It was like he had a Carnage symbiote and was mostly taking defensive powers, and he literally ran to my side of the map, and it was like,
fine.
I can't kill a Thanos in this time unless we're actually fighting. So all right.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
If you did not have, if the record did not have a mission point mechanic and that game went to time, would you still have won?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's.
So he wasn't he wasn't. You had emotional modifiers, so he wasn't just like shooting at your team.
I feel like that's how all mission point wins are going to happen, is where they would have won anyway. It's just easier for them to win on mission points. That's what it feels like. Because I think Wrecker is the exact same goodness if you remove mission points from him.
I agree with that.
Or close to it, I guess.
I agree with that.
I gotta say, I really like this team. I kind of want to run it. It's very good.
Right. So you can't run it for Rock Cup because it's Silver Age.
I can't do.
No, well, because I've already laid. Well, no, you're right. I haven't. I'm not using. I'm not using chip. So
I have a chip. Boom.
No, it's 3v3 is.
There's a singles too, right?
There is.
Well, don't run over that.
Yeah, you just need to fit in some ID cards, right? So,
yeah, that's a discussion.
Yeah, it is. So we'll get to there. So congrats on and thanks for the tips and tricks there, Paul, and congrats on your tournament win there. What was your record coming out of Swiss?
So I was 4-1, lost to Brian. The last game was wild. It was absolutely wild.
What was he playing? I'm just curious.
He was playing. He actually, I think he played like exactly the same team as Jesse did. Another monster team. Blackheart, Sky Tyrant, Orange Proteus. I mean, it feels like if you do like Sky Tyrant, Orange Proteus, and Venom Magneto, and then just randomly select monsters.
Throw monsters on the team. Yeah.
Like, you take those three, and then just what do you want? Because there were some teams that had like Leonardo da Venom that did well. I mean, he's not bad.
I like that piece. Yeah,
he's
not whip or flex. He's shield. He flurry. That piece is not bad.
And he changes the range that you can. What is it? Outwit and perplex.
Perplex.
From?
Yeah.
That's big time. That's big.
Oh, I see that build sheet here. He was they were the controversial build sheets.
What?
They had the superheroes on them.
Oh my
okay.
God.
You don't care.
I don't either. I'm just saying that was the controversial.
Just let people decorate their sheets, man.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. So, but yeah, congratulations and
31's that's a big tournament.
that is a big one.
Yeah.
So
and there's some good players up there.
It is, and there's some players just there's some players that like came just for BRs basically.
Sure.
It's like, wow. Okay. And like
they always get a good turnout up there for sure. They always have people to drive.
It was a great venue too. What's the name of the venue? I might as well say it to like
shout them out.
It was like Cosmic something or another.
Cosmic Games in Bellingham. If you're in the area, I would highly recommend them. It was great.
Yeah,
there you go. All our Vancouver listeners, drive on down.
We do have listeners in Vancouver. We do actually.
Wow, there you go.
And all of our Seattle listeners can drive north.
Shout out.
Yeah. So, we do have a couple more questions for you specifically, Paul, that we'll wrap up here with. Are y'all I would assume y'all will come together. Are y'all going to come to Memphis?
Ooh.
We haven't actually made the plans yet, and it's we got the I'm not sure.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
I'd really like to, but it's probably going to be hard to. It would be awesome to go.
Yeah, the Memphis was probably my favorite Worlds that they've done so far.
Agreed.
It was a big deal.
Agreed.
But
even
it is hard to get a flight. So
yeah, even with Jason, Tylor, and Alex, and all of us almost getting shot, we did okay.
What?
It wasn't that big a deal.
It wasn't that big a deal. I mean, there was just guns involved.
But it makes it sound worse than it was.
I know. Well, I'm okay. I kind of have to. Okay, that makes it like, wow, what happened? Oh, Jason, we got Jason off of mute.
Sorry, I've been coughing. I didn't want to mess up the conversation there.
Yeah, it was that Memphis barbecue place.
Yeah, I think you make it sound a little rougher than it really was.
It was.
There were guns, though.
You go.
There were guns and an old Cadillac limousine and a guy that talked like Bobby Boucher and the Water Boy.
Wasn't it a pink limousine?
It was a pink Cadillac.
It was a pink Cadillac limousine. Yeah.
That was fun.
And there was also barbecue. It was very good.
Yeah.
It does sound interesting. It sounds like a really good story. It's really not that big a deal. But the way you guys are presenting, I like it.
Right. Yeah. So it's really not that big a deal.
Daniel, what was worse, that or the Popeyes we went to in the middle of the night in the bad part of town?
Oh man.
I can't remember what with us.
I don't know if I have a. I mean, it was fine. It was probably fine. We were okay. You know.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was a.
Once we were. I don't know. I think we probably had a few too many alcoholic beverages at dinner, so it was a lot more dramatic to us at that point. Not driving to Popeyes, leaving the barbecue restaurant.
Not driving to Popeyes.
Right. Yeah, not
I would do it again.
Yeah, Memphis is a lot of fun. It'd be cool if you could come, but we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing my looking at flights real quick. Yeah, it looks like would you fly out of like what, San Francisco or San Jose or Oakland? There's like
probably San Francisco.
Right. So it does not look like from my
1 minute search.
My 1 minute search that there is. Well, the big thing is there doesn't look like there's any non-stops to Memphis.
Right. That's rough.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? So that's what just takes more time. It's 6 to 8 hours worth of flights. So
sure.
But I would totally love to. We did get to meet. Tylor didn't, but Jason and I got to meet Jesse a few years ago when he flew out here and played in Owensboro with us. So I would definitely. Are you the elder Trash Bro or the younger Trash Bro?
I'm the younger Trash Bro.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So with the youth brings exuberance. So I'd like to meet the younger Trash Bro. So there's no way that you're that old then, Paul. I mean...
No.
Yeah,
I think
That is
a good joke.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. Any more questions specifically for yourself? Brad just shotgunned out some questions here this year. What would you design if you won Worlds?
Magus.
Good question.
With the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, I thought you said maggot. I want to make maggot again.
I want to make maggot.
No, that's what I heard. What did you say?
Magus, Adam Warlock's evil side that had the Infinity Gauntlet.
Nagus?
I actually know.
Nagus?
I always thought it was the Magus, but maybe
Magus.
Oh, Nagus. Okay.
M as in Mary.
Maybe
Magus.
Like slang, but
Magus. Yes.
Magus. Magus.
Evil Adam Warlock.
Evil Adam Warlock with the Infinity Gauntlet.
I actually know who that is.
I do too. Once you call him Magus, I know who you're talking about now. So.
So that was like that's more. I missed most of the Thanos stuff up until recently. I that was just too old for me. So the Skrull invasion Infinity Gauntlet stories were the ones that I knew more, and that's why I like Doppelganger. Aside from just being a good HeroClix, like that's more of the era that that I knew. What's that?
Nothing.
Oh,
No. Has he ever been Clixed before? I mean, obviously Warlock has, but
yes,
yeah,
Magus has. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'd want him to, be a badass, a thing.
Yeah, make a piece that you would actually play.
Okay.
Unlike some people we know.
Firing shots is what we're doing here?
No, I think we are presenting facts, Tyler.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Right.
With no implications tied to them at all.
That's right. No implications. I mean, do you know somebody that won Worlds and has not played their piece one time?
I can't think of a single person.
Okay. All right. Well,
got him.
I'll follow up with you after the episode and remind you.
All right, I'll do some research.
Right.
So have to win more, I guess.
So Disney Plus is delayed till May, is what what it looks like. So
that's about the only bad news we got about the set, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like that. So here's my analogy that I came up with today. I was talking to Mr. Chomps about this too. And really me talking about Mr. Chomps is me just internalizing content creation. So what we look for, I think here, we see the meta as a big soup, right? Or the Decahedron or whatever Alex would say.
I do not. Never said soup.
Right. I'm thinking of soup, right? So
okay. It's good to know.
But in that aspect, right, we are looking at, do pieces come out that add spice or change the recipe?
Okay. I kind of understand the analogy.
Right. So I think what we've seen so far is a whole lot of spicy spice, and I love it.
Okay. Yeah. Just overall, what do you think so far, Paul, of the set?
I love it. I'm really glad, I'm going to be getting a case of it for that. I think there's some really cool. Yeah, that was the prize. So I'm like looking at it, being like, what could I get? It's great. I think the objects look. Okay, I think the Cloak of Levitation is more than just spice. I think that's really good.
It's very good.
That's.
Elaborate.
Okay.
The Cloak of Levitation. So it's got sidestep, flight, and plasticity.
Yep.
I think that really extends character's reach. Like if you put it on Blackheart, you're sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me an example of who you're looking at slapping it on, and you're getting ready to say Blackheart there. So
yeah, the weird thing is like everyone that I'm looking at already has one of those three things.
Yeah,
yeah, but it still seems so good. Like it seems like the most. I don't know, and it's only 5 points. I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is certainly very cost efficient.
Yeah.
Now I would say, like, I always look at what would be perfect for me. Drop the plasticity, drop the flight, give me shape change and sidestep, and I would be in love.
Sure.
But but I mean, for 5 points, right? So we haven't. So flight was only been in a 10-point object, I think. The glider, maybe the glider's 8.
Wasn't there was a Legion ring that used to do it, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in our modern age of equipable things, of equipables.
I think it's just the surfboard and the Goblin glider.
Yeah, so surfboard is 10.
Yeah, and Goblin glider's 10.
Okay. Wasn't there one that? No, there's one more that was 8, right? What am I missing?
The Beetle Pod, yeah.
The pod. Yeah, the Beetle Pod. Yeah.
That was fun.
I actually missed the Beetle Pod. There was somebody that I really wished I had it on. I can't remember who it was now, but I was like, man, the Beetle Pod would be perfect.
I saw people play it on like Phil Coulson's just to get that extra 2 speed and the toughness, and it seemed all right.
Lockjaw would love the Beetle Pod.
Yeah, true.
So I get it. So I agree with y'all, but I mean, I don't know, but it's hard to say if it's spice, right? So what I would say would change the recipe, right, would be Thanos changed the recipe. Right, like he made emotional modifier and almost a must play.
Right, Faust changes the recipe. It changes what you want to play. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So, do I see flight, plasticity, and sidestep breaking the meta? Not exactly at this point in time. It could. I mean, having sidestep on a piece that like does something when it moves,
right,
is really powerful.
That's what I was thinking. Is there anything that like breaks? Because sidestep, it's not, it can be really good if there's like a trigger like that.
Right. But there's no. I don't think there's no infinite triggers with it anymore. So it's probably just a really good trigger out there somewhere.
The way I kind of want to see it played more is on a figure like Lockjaw. I think it's really good on Lockjaw. Like having him be able to sidestep and then he plasticity with his big base, seems really, really good. He doesn't really need the flight, but it helps on his sidestep, I guess, to help him ignore things. But I thought something like that. It seems like a transporter would want it, like one that is lacking a few things.
Sure.
But looking at the set, there's barely anything I want to put, like when we do our rankings, that I want to put in D. Everything I look at is at least like, oh, that's really cool. That does a really unique thing.
And we've only seen 6 boosters so far, which is really exciting. Right? So, I mean, like, there is some Ds out there. I mean, we're not going to do a set review, but like the common Captain Carter that's 120 points. Right? She's not smoking in the meta here. Starting out with charge, but we haven't
Depends on what that shield does.
I agree with you. I tentatively agree with you.
The 45-point line, it's not bad coming in with an equip.
Okay, maybe we'll see. I'll reserve judgment for later. And it's got Invincible. Like, yay, Invincible's back.
Yep,
Holler.
Great to see.
Love it. We love it. But yeah, like, so we've seen some real bangers here immediately. I'm just looking like Skinny Steve Rogers. Like, who doesn't love
15-point leadership. Is that the lowest leadership we've ever had?
It beats Groot.
It does, and that's really good.
That's
he can fit on Latveria, his soldier.
he fits on Latveria and like so. Someone was saying like, when is Celebrity going to get some support? And here I am thinking, and I see like Skinny Steve Rogers with Soldier, and I'm like, Spider-Man fam's got it going on.
Yeah, that's true.
And I love extended range leadership. I love it.
Yeah, it is very nice. That's one of my favorite things on High Evo. Yeah, I mean that's great. He's just and he's shield, so you can actually use his action to do something.
That's right. I agree.
Yeah,
and he brings the TA to Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
and he calls in Superman.
Who doesn't at this point?
Yeah, with a 5 range, right?
And then might take off the token he used to call him in.
There you go.
Willpower.
Yep.
I don't see. It is the cheapest. There was 2 LEs from Infinity Challenge that were 16. that were 16 and 17.
Hey, beat him by 1.
And then the Doombot, I don't see its point value, but I think it's 20.
I don't remember. That sounds right, but I don't.
Oh no! This is the generated Doombot, so you can't even play that one. So, but yeah, I mean, just so much great value in here, and we'll do a full set review. But I mean, for 6 boosters,
it's great stuff.
Right.
You got it. It's mainly one criticism I could see is that we haven't seen any big hitters yet, really, which makes sense. But there's definitely going to be them in the set, right? We have that Vision, we have the Super Strange, Supreme, Sorcerer, Sinister, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, the support that we've seen, you get like Darcy's 25 points, Outwit, Perplex, Shield, Team Ability. You have Jimmy Woo, 20-point Perplex. It's 4 clicks long with the PD team ability. Monica Rambeau is pretty cool that she can like force a tie-up, and she shape-change super senses with a stop click.
Right. Oh man, I wish Monica was a free instead of a power.
We do not. No one wishes that.
I do. No. I do.
Oh my god! You just do a drop-off team of 225 points and 3 of her, and they just can't attack.
I like that. That's exciting. That's pretty exciting. So good thing in silver. There's an ID card. So real quick, what I was going to say was to what Tyler was alluding to is that it doesn't look like it's very fun for sealed at the moment. So
really?
Well, it's hard to build a 300-point team with a decent heavy hitter on it.
I don't know. I love having support.
Right. I do too, right? But I would say, like, the only time I get particularly, I guess the word would be offended about a set in regards to sealed is if I have to play it for a big prize, or if I have to play it for a WKO, or if I have to play it at Worlds. We certainly appreciate sealed, but typically only when it comes to the big prizing things.
It might be one of those sealed teams where like I'm not playing 2 figures. I'm playing all 8 of my 10 booster pack things.
But there are some attackers, and if you get support on them, I think it can be fun. Like they got that Hypersonic Tommy. You had the Party Thor. You had the Spider-Man. That's super rare, but I mean there's stuff in there that can hit.
I think if you pull Party Thor, you're really happy.
Party Thor, and then like 3 support pieces. Like that sounds really good to me.
Right. Yeah, Shape Change and Invincible really helps out a lot. Mm-hmm. And then the willpower. Yeah. So, we did get
slowly gaining back 1 click at a time is way more important in sealed.
Yes.
Because it's constructed, you're way more likely to actually KO something.
Yeah, and there's a lot of pieces that do it. The shape change ones all can do it, and then Party Thor is the one you were talking about, right? He can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Richard Z asked, I feel like War of the Realms and now Disney Plus have rather bland dial design. I think we're a little bit too early to call Disney Plus bland, but do we think X of Swords will continue?
I think we're too late to call it bland.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Do we think X of Swords will continue this trend? And is this WizKids trying to move the meta for when things like WWE80 get retired? So, the answer to that last question, I think, is nah. There'll be something that shifts, right?
I agree with that. I disagree with his statement that this is not a meh. The last set, definitely you could say that about. There was a lot. It felt like half the set was just charge pieces.
Right.
This one's not bland at all. It's got a lot of different types of characters, and they, like I said, it feels like they all do something unique. I mean, obviously there's something like common Captain America, right? He's a charge piece. He has ESD and Force Blast, but he comes with we don't know what his shield does yet, I guess. Probably ESD looking at it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of... This one's not bland to me at all. This one, every piece I look at, I'm like, wow, that's a really cool effect.
Yeah, and have they said how many objects come in X of Swords?
There's like 20 different swords or something like that.
Right. So, I mean, that can't be bland.
And it has the tarot cards.
And it has the tarot cards, right. So
we'll see how those go.
Tyler, I'm just going with the expectation that they're just busted AF.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking in my head like, yeah, everybody it's just busted. Yep.
It's can be scary if they aren't connected to something and you just get to use them.
Just there's zero cost. You get to use a whole deck of them. Maybe they're 5 points total or something. I'm just going with utterly busted, and yeah.
For what it's going to cost to play, they better be.
You are correct, Jason.
There's like 60 cards or something, right?
A bunch. I think like 70 something they said.
70, I heard.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. Okay. All right. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. What?
When doing these evaluations, I don't even know what's busted anymore because like Micron isn't being played. So like
that's true. That is
so many
fair.
You're just like, I don't know. It's everything seems busted.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so for what we've seen so far, Richard Shaw wants to know: do you feel like WizKids made good representation of the characters from the show? And then what characters do you feel like they got right and missed the mark? That's Richard. That is probably more of a set review question. But the problem becomes the TV show characters aren't like a robust lineage for the most part, right? There's not a robust storyline. You're making characters, full-fledged characters off of one show, one scene, in a lot of cases. So, like, the stop clicks on the Maximoff family.
Please stand by or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very theatrical, but at what point does that just mean, like, stop click?
That's what it is.
That's what it is. So,
I think it's cool. Like I said, I'm very happy with the set so far.
Yeah, I agree. So, it's one of those things too for me. Like, Richard, I'm always just happy that they make them. I'm probably pretty easy to please when it comes to the collector side of things. Like, I saw the Prime U.S. Agent card and the little picture of his little tiny silly looking head made me want to punch him. As it did evoke the motion while I watched the show.
Sure.
So it worked. I'm not a fan of John Walker U.S. Agent. So not a fan. By the way, spoilers. By the way, I think we're way past that, but spoilers. So, I think I'm okay with it.
Oh, he has 2 targets.
Yeah.
That guy's pretty good.
Yeah. You know who else has 2 targets for 50 points? It is not a prime.
This guy's full movement charge though. That's
Yay!
something.
Hey, it's only a 10 though.
Is that Quake or is it it's Super Strength?
Super
right?
Strength, yeah. So
That is less good.
yeah, you know what? I was thinking about also kind of a thought here. And Paul, you came in pretty recent, right? EarthX, you said. You know, how do you feel about the Wonder Woman rules changes now that we've played them for a year?
I like them for the most part. Yeah, I think there's actually a lot that were sacred cows that just needed to be slaughtered.
Yeah, I really like the no pushing damage and the change to willpower and great size.
I am overall huge fan.
Right.
The only most of them are just great. I think the game runs a lot smoother. It's a lot more fun to combine powers now. Yeah, I like it better. The only ones that I don't like, I still miss pushing damage. I agree that it was a problem before, but I wish they just fixed it instead of getting rid of it, because I still do miss that, and that could help out Super Strength a little bit. But I think that's my only real complaint. That's the only thing I would change back.
Right.
And I don't even know if I would change it back. I just want them to do it better.
Right. Yeah, do it better. The problem is that, like, yeah, the decision making, and the reason that they gave for pushing damage was decision making. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's not a decision now. Like, true. You freaking go.
Yep.
Right.
I'll go no quit.
That's right. So the only thing I think I do miss is Super Strength, right? So, like, I see this US agent dial with Super Strength the whole way, and I'm like, ooh, knocking back.
Yeah. Dude, imagine if you could still got the +2. Man,
right.
He'd be way better, right? He'd be what, 12 for 6?
12 for 6, that's right.
Not bad.
I just think Super Strength should be able to have Passenger 1. Like, why is a Flyer more likely to carry someone than the Hulk? The Hulk should be able to carry someone.
That's right. I like that.
That'd be good.
And I was thinking about, like, the additional utility that Outwit provides. So, like, you know, they took away Perplex on damage, but that also adds a lot of value to Outwit. So, like, you outwit the combat expert on US Agent, and he's 11 for 3. That's a lot less scary than 12-4. I know it's like 17% less scary. There's a numerical value to that. But outwitting that on him, right, it really can take him out from one-shotting somebody.
Yeah, I think it's also made people use Enhancement and Empower, which is great. Like, those are great powers now.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely like the Perplex change. I think Perplex was clearly overtuned for a while, but I'm not saying, like, I didn't see it before they changed it, but as soon as they made that change, like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
I agree. So let's see here. A couple other questions on. So Derek Layer asked, and I don't really know if I know the answer to this one. Do you think the combination of Herbert, Blackheart, Wyndham, and Mobius Immobius will be a meta warping threat like Vulture and Hawkeye? It feels like maybe he's joking.
I think that is a joke. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check.
Don't know
what does Mobius do?
Mobius is cool. It says if a friendly character within his range, which is 6, uses phasing and moves less than 4, they get to make an attack. So that's cool. But I don't think Herbert is the way to go. He's 9 for 1. Yeah, there's no interactions here. So this is a joke. Okay, we got the joke.
So if it's not a joke, like he just gets to phase and attack, man, that's not
9 for 1.
It's not super powerful.
This was a joke.
No offense, but maybe feel free to comment and tell us if we're wrong. We'll gladly accept our whatever.
But Mobius himself is pretty cool. Thanos likes to phase and then attack.
That's right. Yeah.
He can do it for free.
That's right. Anybody that has free phasing gets to make a close attack, right? So, like, the obvious combo
Yeah.
that I came up with, and probably 500 other people, Mobius, Thanos, Mjolnir. Yep. Let's go.
Sure, that works. Yeah, Mobius is
it's
cool.
Pretty sweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see here. Anything else y'all want to talk about? So we're just at day 3 today. Today's Wednesday. So anything else D+ that y'all want to talk about?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What?
I just have to figure out how Spot interacts with Mobius. That could be really cool.
Oh.
No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does the way I want it to.
Does it not? He gets to phase and then make an attack.
Yeah, but does he not?
He would have to make 4.
Yeah, when he makes a close attack, he may target an opposing character within 4 squares, regardless of adjacency.
Right.
That could be really cool. That could be really cool.
That basically just lets him. Yeah, he phases for free. He phases 5, so he can only do it for 4, right?
Right. I think that hurts his reach though a little bit on like negative zone, unless you're doing specifically Oz plus Death Flash.
It would really just give him another attack, right? Because he phases, then he flurries, and then he would get to just make another normal attack, right?
Well, so he would phase for free, and then as the resolutions of the phasing teleport for free, he would make a close attack, and then make his flurry, because the flurry would be costed after that. Theo's here to help me record the Auxxit interlude here. Thanks for helping me, buddy. Auxxit is a buy, sell, discuss platform built to help users connect and find great deals. Whether you're a seller, a buyer, or a collector or a player, the HeroClix Cafe is waiting for you. Check out the link in the show description for a join link to Auxxit, and check that out, and back to the show.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, that's true. And I'm a Spot fan. I think he has potential, so.
Right.
Anything?
For
Does he share keywords?
For a couple of them, they don't. But for a couple of months here, right? Because Spot needs his power gem, right? 10 for 2 is a lot less scary than 11 for 4. Mm-hmm. Plus Perplex. So, but lots more to come on D+, especially this week. So,
please stand by.
Please stand by. That's right. Silver Age stuff.
Wait, just real quick.
Yep.
What are you guys looking forward? What's the figure you guys are looking forward to seeing in the Disney Plus the most?
Oh gosh, I have to look at the set list.
Yeah, I don't remember the set list. I mean, Agnes was one I was looking forward to a lot, and I am not disappointed by what they
I was gonna say I like her a lot. We still do have another Agnes though.
Is there a Thanos?
There's not a Thanos.
No.
Okay.
There's just a Thanos cut in half. That's what it is.
Hey, there was the drinking Thanos.
Oh, Ravager Thanos.
Yeah, Ravager Thanos. Sign me up.
True,
was there Magneto? We need a playable Magneto in Modern.
that is true.
Yeah,
We've been missing him for a while.
that's right. Obviously, Infinity Gauntlet Ultron better be really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's the meta. That's the meta answer.
That's fine. Because he ate a galaxy. Like he was tearing through dimensions. He better be good.
Right. Do we get an
Have you seen the
Uatu?
Dark One yet?
We get an Uatu. We do not get a battle armor Uatu.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yep, just run of the mill Uatu.
So we know. I hope. You know what? That's what I'm looking forward to. I hope 044 Watcher is meta warping.
Maybe has a stop click that says like battle armor or whatever.
Or has a stop click that says Tylor must play a Uatu.
I don't mind the character Uatu. I don't mind the character. It was that one piece that everybody overhyped.
That got the first mission point win in 300 Modern.
3v3. Okay.
Oh no! Now the story changes, Tylor.
I'm saying facts. That's all I'm saying. adding context. It's never a bad
Don't
thing.
try to make it your narrative, Tyler. Your version of it. Okay.
I don't know. I don't
It is
know
what it is.
about. Yeah, and I'm just saying the facts.
Oh boy.
I actually was gonna say Watu. I hope they do that at Watu really, really cool. I really hope he's good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he did battle the Infinity Gauntlet Ultron, right? So.
I want Miss Minutes to be busted.
Yeah, I can't believe they added Miss Minutes. I forgot about that until you said it.
What rarity is she?
I think she's a rare.
Yeah, she is
probably.
029 Miss Minutes.
Well,
This is a relatively small set too. I guess because there in the boosters that he's opened with an object, does it take the place of a character?
no, I don't think so.
No.
The cloak came with Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
So we're getting the Darkholme, right?
Yes.
Isn't it special objects? I think that's my answer.
Oh,
I
okay,
think that
that's
could be
fair.
really cool.
Yeah, fair. Probably comes with Agnes, if I had to guess. It's the.
What's
I think it's a super rare.
What's the 008? Do we know what so there's the dark hole? What's the other object? So I see the serum, the
Tesseract.
Tesseract.
I see that one. So I see serum, shield, cloak, shield.
There's 3 shields.
I got the 3 shields, and then the Darkhold 7 would be the
Red
7th
Wing.
one. Red Wing is the 8th. Okay.
Oh yeah, Red Wing. How are they gonna do this as an object? It's weird.
Well, Red Wing goes onto the back of
I know.
Falcon, so it's like he's
feel
like
he'd
an
be a
equip,
bystander.
but maybe it's an equip that generates a bystander.
Maybe that'd be cool.
I don't know.
think they've ever done that before.
The illusion generator.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
So,
You got me.
yeah, I don't know. Apparently, I'm just quick on it tonight. That was really quick response for me for some reason. Silver Age stuff, I guess, and random type questions. So let's start Silver Age. So Jesse Cote, if you could ban one piece, not because it was too effective, but instead to protect would-be players from doing self-harm, what piece would that be? I guess this is the...
Watu.
I feel like this entire question was to bait out an Awatu rant.
Successful. Alright, I always fall for an Watu bait.
Know
don't
what
care.
the fans like.
Yeah.
Successful.
Malekith. A lot of people are building with Malekith, and I think it's just really bad into emotional modifier.
That is true. It does struggle there. But good thing no one's playing that, so we're fine.
Malekith, that is, not the emotional modifier.
No, I
No,
was
there's-
saying the
there's
other
a few
emotional
people
modifier.
trying to-
I was making a joke.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a few people trying to play Malekith, and I just think it's a really bad play into that, and just
Yeah, just when I first saw it, I was like, this plus lasso, that's probably the most points you're gonna get in a turn for mission points. But yeah, it's probably not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that's like, I know Jesse's question here is in jest, I think. But because there was talking about like casual players and getting players into the game, and Tylor argued with some guy for like 20 comments, so
I did.
Let's see here. William K. Holland, how do you use Destroyer well? I just pulled one. Now, he doesn't specify if it's the Prime or the regular one.
I assume Prime.
But if it's the regular one, I would say relegate him to a casual game and enjoy him.
Yeah, that's fair.
If it's the Prime one, put him on your sideline if you're not playing a Prime, and don't forget to roll for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is one trick to the Prime is don't forget to roll. Everything else is pretty autopilot. Just do what the card says, but just remember to roll every time you get attacked. As long as one of its equipment is probably the biggest learning curve for that.
That's right. Yeah, because I am not good at it myself. So
Yeah.
I think he's better on like one-man army or like just sturdy pieces. Like I fear him a lot more when he's paired with a Thanos, because then you can just kill the like if it's a Sky Tyrant, you might just kill the Sky Tyrant and then he has no place to be put. The Destroyer has no place to.
It's possible. He can go in the square of any equip, though. So if that's the only equipped person on the board, it won't work. But
Yeah, he can go into the square of your opposing equipped character.
True.
But he
so
does.
that was the thing. Like, I was looking at some of my other games that I've played without Destroyer, and there was not a lot of chances for me to bring him out this past week when I won the Brad's event.
Mm-hmm.
That's surprising.
Because I played against the Thanos, I stole his equip, so I wasn't bringing. He wasn't attacking me. He could have attacked my Thanos, but
most people don't. They just go for support.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he did. And then the second round, maybe, but certainly not the third round. But that was pretty unfortunate for Lewis, though, the third round. So Silver Age talk. I would say Alex did the second session of his ID card talk tonight. Please look at that on our YouTube channel and his Kuzinator Twitch channel. He is going in depth card by card. So, and just to acknowledge Jack, we did answer your question just a few minutes ago. Or at least that was the intent, was to answer your question there. So let's start with Kurt's question for Silver Age. What are the big archetypes to put into Silver Age Practice Gauntlet? And then what are your opinion of the top 3 sneaky tricks? So the archetypes are everything in Modern with spicy ID cards.
That is probably. I don't even know, because I'm looking at my teams and I'm like, man, I want to add somebody like. I want to find, instead of Spider-Ham, I want to have an ID battery animal. That's what I'm looking for.
But that is Spider-Ham.
He's not an ID battery. Like, he's not the ideal ID battery.
I mean, he calls out Jean, he calls out Cyclops, he calls out Wolverine.
Yeah, but you want your ID, you want him to be hard to kill, and you want him to be able to support your ID figure, and you want to be able to do stuff for free. That's the right. Blackheart's a great ID character, right? Because he's got prob, he can do stuff for free, he can move for free, and then do it.
Well, Spider-Ham can attack for free.
That is true. That is true. I don't think that is relevant, but it is true.
Gotcha. So, I think the sneaky tricks, right, would be the super low, and we talked about this on the last episode, Kurt. I think the sneakiest tricks are the low point IDs. That's mine. That's what I would say. The 20 point and below IDs for inspirations. Y'all feel free to share one as well. So,
mine would be the tank. Look out for the tank. Because it's very good, and it will be played, and you can't position like we have been for 2 years. So just, if you weren't playing when the tank was around, just read what it does, and just be very scared of it, like I am.
Right. That was my answer too.
Yeah.
So, sneaky tricks to prepare for in Silver Age. I think another thing is like, is there any good callouts that are? There's got to be some kind of like. I mean, like retails that then call out decent attack is something that's going to happen.
Right,
Superman is the easy one because he's 11 for 4 up close with the stupid kill through stop click. So, that's a Proteus can do that after he retails.
Because things are just way more efficient than they were. Like you can retail with a Tri-Sentinel and then call out a Flash who then charges.
12 for 3 twice. Or 12 for 3 and then poofs himself. He ignores characters. You do have other ones. Obviously, you have the Prime Colossus. He can attack and then retail if you position it right. There's an Adam that I think is like 11 for 4 at 25 points that you can call out.
It's the same, the 40-point one that we've been playing.
No, there's another one from Joker's Wild. It's like 11 for. I think he's 10 for 3 with CCE.
Oh, that's right, because he wasn't he wasn't called out a lot before.
No, but he's 11 for 4 if you want to retail with a Surtur and then call something out.
That's true. You know what? I guess he was called out before. I take that back, because his inspiration is super OP.
Yeah. Oh, that's something too. His inspiration, you can make your Surtur tiny, retail, and then attack for free.
Well, you can retail with Surtur, and then
no, because it's a power action.
No. OG Surtur. OG Surtur. You can play OG Surtur in Silver Age.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Surtur retails for free in OG sense.
Yeah, so I'm saying you can't retail with Surtur and then call him in and then attack with Surtur.
Oh, you know what? That is an accurate statement.
Yeah, because it's a power action to call him out.
Right. So I was wrong there, but
but you can still do that. You can
still make your retails tiny and do stuff with them.
There's probably a barrier call out that
Batman
Tri-Sentinel can call out. I mean, he retails, he calls out a barrier, they barrier, he sidesteps through it.
Right, but there's probably a dozen of these tricks, right? Because the Batman ID, I just want to pull it up here just to make sure that I got it. It gives out barrier, smoke cloud, and stealth.
Yeah,
and what is the scariest thing? Autonomous barrier.
Autonomous. Yeah.
Right. So
dude, even autonomous smoke cloud if your whole team has stealth.
That's right. Well, so but you have Mary Jane. You call out a Batman. You have 3 Pogs.
Yep.
You now have
16 squares. Oh, 15 or 12.
Yeah, 12 squares of barrier, and then if Mary Jane is your 16th. If she,
because she's not calling them out, probably.
Right.
Mary Jane Pogs doing like blades or random things like that.
Yeah.
Or the RCE that KOs the Pogs.
Yeah, so you can make more. Yeah.
You can play like old Mary Jane where you push him to death and make 6 attacks a turn for free.
So the archetype that I think will be there, not that I'm saying I would play this, but there will be don't die that do call-ins. People will try it. I don't think it's as good as I don't think it'll hold up, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I haven't really looked at like what you would use as like your Kobik essentially, right? Like there's something new that's very hard to kill.
Invisible Woman.
Yeah, but she, especially with ID cards coming back, they're going to be Pulse Wave. There's a lot of drop off teams, so I don't know if she is good enough. It's probably just Thanos, right? Thanos is super hard to kill. He does like 18 different things for free. He can poof the RD cards himself. He still gets to mind control you. So the answer is Thanos.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely the new hotness ID card battery, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't believe that we're going to run into this thing where there's this whole, hold up defensive ID card team.
I think it'll just be like it was before, right?
I think people will
try it.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be dominant, but I think you have to prepare for people to try it.
Right, because like the Kobik, like before, right? Because that Kobik was the biggest team, or say Isaac's 2019 Worlds team, right? They were like 8s and 9s. Well, Monster is now exceeding that. So you lose map to Jubilee, and she just erases all of your barrier, and then shoots. Right, so I just think like regular monsters beats Kobik in a lot of instances.
Yeah. It could. I mean, she's still a 19 shape change super.
I'm not saying
right?
well, you don't go after Kobik first. You KO all the support, right?
Sure.
You clear out the barrier to send in the Tyrant.
Sure, but their 10-point retaliator's now calling in a Superman that gives their whole team invincible, so you can't quake them all with exploit anymore.
Crowbar, Tyler, crowbar.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I'm not a believer yet.
Crowbar.
Okay.
So that was McConnell's question. Who do you think some of the better ID card batteries are? I mean, Thanos is the new hotness.
Thanos is probably the best answer. I said I've been looking at like just the autonomous pieces from Spider-Man. That's called like Peter Parker's 30 points with autonomous with prob, and then you can just call in like a Flash or like autonomously you could call in a Superman to give their whole team invincible. So something like that. Having the autonomous that can actually do really good costed actions is something to look at.
Right.
I think we have to mention Mini Shredder though. Mini Shredder can call out Green Arrow, and you may have heard of him. He's pretty good.
Do you think he's good enough to be in Modern?
Do I think he's good enough to be in Modern?
I'm of the opinion that he has probably been priced out. I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't think he's like a contender for a spot.
I think. I don't, that's a good question.
Yeah, because whenever Captain Marvel came out, I said this piece is better than Mini Shredder. It does very similar things, fair to kill, does free damage, but it can drop a cat. And so like I compared the two, and she's not seen play, so I'm not sure if Mini Shredder will.
Captain Marvel is bad against Green Arrow, though.
That is true. That is very true. She probably sees a lot less play, because he just one-shots her. I mean, not quite, but
yeah, I feel like that's a bad. I don't know. I feel like Green Arrow's gonna. Maybe it won't, but that was one of the things defining the bronze meta.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, but I mean, you also have robots, that do things. I think what probably takes the biggest hit, in my opinion, would be the SWAT teams because of sideline space.
Yeah, sideline space.
I guess they get free IDs though.
They do, but the sideline space is still a problem.
It's really tight. It's really tight for sure.
Let's see here. Zach Strong wants to know: Are there any pieces you'll think will end up getting banned from Silver that aren't currently banned? Maybe Superman ID.
Maybe. It's very good. I mean, for me, it's the tank is number one on my concern list personally. Can't think of anything else. I mean, obviously, things that have been on the watch list before, but there aren't very many of those, and they're, I don't think Surtur's still as good as he was, but I'd say he's about as good as Dark Phoenix is right now, which is good, but I don't think it's like a problem. So I would say, yeah, either the tank or some sort of interaction that nobody's seen yet.
Right.
Batman ID could be problematic.
Oh, that's true too.
That could be pretty bad.
Yeah, is there anything else that gives out barrier?
The Iceman does. And I don't think Black Panther does. He just gives stealth and smoke cloud. I think it's Batman and Iceman.
Right.
I don't know. It's so hard to tell because like Sky Tyrants.
Yeah, Sky.
It's just so hard to tell.
Sky Tyrant just keeps on being like over half of the top cuts, and it's just like, well,
Black Panther is the same as Batman. Iceman is just barrier.
Right, but he's 15 points, so Mary Jane can call him in.
Right. So
that's not bad.
All right.
It's just hard to tell what is broken anymore.
Yeah, I think
We have
right
to-
right now with silver, I feel I have no idea what it's going to look like. It just seems like, which is exciting. You know, it's exciting to see how the first few tournaments are going to pan out and what ends up working. But
Yep.
yeah, we'll need some more data.
Right, and then Scott Crampton's question: you're playing a team with Thanos. What are your 4 IDs and figures? You're playing a monster team with Blackheart, Sky Tyrant. What are your 4 IDs and figures? I'm adding to Scott's question there, but I'm projecting.
Because you're assuming that is Thanos. So, Green Arrow, I think, is number 1 on the 150 or on the Thanos. Captain Marvel, because it's a free perplex and it's also a good attacker.
Ping hypersonic, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't I don't think robots is going to be like dominant, but I think people are going to be playing stuff like Lockjaw and things, and that ID has 4 instances of damage that run through per attack and then the flurry after.
Yeah.
And
it gives you perplex and prob.
Yeah, and it just gives you a perplex. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's good. And then Black Widow, I think is Black Widow is stupid good against Thanos, against
because you get that thing for a turn, right? You activate the -2 and you get it that turn, which is huge.
Right.
Yeah.
But Black Widow can also call in Black Widow.
What do you mean?
Black Widow can call in Black Widow?
Right.
You just main field a Black Widow and then call one.
Right.
Yeah.
Black Widow might get a little bit of a bump. I don't know. She might be playable because not just her as an ID battery, but like she travels up the map, creates her 25-point character that
then it calls something in.
And
oh my god,
stuff to call in that
she's
I don't know.
She's gonna pop out a dude and it's just gonna call out a freaking. Oh my god.
Calls out Monica Rambeau, who makes it so you can't attack.
Yeah, something like that. Finds a way to call it asserter.
I don't. You can call in Monica, right?
No, because it's not. Well,
no.
Hold on.
Level 3 ID.
She what?
Field level 3 ID.
Level 1.
No,
Yeah.
level 3. Level 1 doesn't work because the name has to be varied. But what is her? She has a card, right?
No, she her
what's it called?
Oh, maybe you can't then.
No, it was her. She has the real name. What's her name?
Yeah, but what's?
Hold on.
Photon.
No, it's not Photon. It's the other name for her.
Dang it.
Spectrum. Spectrum has real name Monica Rambeau, so that should be the alternative ID.
That works.
Yeah.
So you can't call it that Monica.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think that's the best 25 points you can call in. I was kind of kidding there.
Maybe not, but
that's a spicy 25 points though to call in.
That's not bad.
Spicy.
I don't mind
Spicy. Remember, spicy. Call spicy.
You can also call in the Avengers Fantastic Four one. That one's really good. At 150, probably not. Probably not.
It feels like you're calling in Captain Marvel at 150.
Yeah, but her 50 line is right. Running shot, triple target, Pensai. What's up, Ben?
Yeah.
Did I mention Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Green Arrow? I don't think you need a Jubilee on
Not
Thanos.
something that big. You could run the Chase Thor is really good at 125. I think he's 12 for 5, and then he gets the energy explode afterwards.
I mean, I don't know that if there is a top 4. Like, he's asking for a top 4, right? And it's knucking crazy.
It is. Just as a general statement, what you're looking for in an ID is, like kind of Paul said, multiple instances of damage is a huge add. Either they can attack twice, they can generate a hog, something like that. Ideally, you don't want it to be easy to kill, or you want to be able to get it off the map. And then it has some sort of support power. So that's just kind of what you're looking for. So like Thor is what I mentioned. The Prime. Punisher, you could use him at his higher point line. He gets to make a couple. Oh no, the regular Punisher gets to make 2 attacks. He has like a ranged flurry thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a normal Punisher super rare from that set. And he can be called in on the War Machine ID, which gives +1 damage, I think.
Yeah. So the other
no,
thing is
Punisher War Machine has to be called in with shield.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
The other thing is, if I'm playing a Thanos team, I'm not making it so that all of my... I'd have at least one ID that my support characters can call in.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, I'd have a Flash that Faust can call in, or something like that.
Right.
So I'd have
almost. So, like, my thought is almost all of them.
Almost all of them? Okay.
Right. Except for maybe one, right? So, like, if I'm calling in Cyclops, Cyclops could be called in at big boy values or little boy value.
For both of you, do you both think that IDs will be on 95% of Silver Age teams?
Yes.
Like at least one?
Yeah, at least one ID.
I think 95% will have at least 2.
Do you agree, Paul?
I think 95 will have at least one, yeah.
Okay. And what do you think the average IDs on a team will be?
On top performing teams or all teams?
Yeah. Top cuts, how many, what's the average ID count?
Top cuts, average ID count. That's a good question. I hadn't really thought about that.
My guess would be above 4 as the average.
Okay, I definitely go under on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree on the under.
All right, fair.
There's too much goodness and too much theme fluff that you have to have these days.
Right.
That's what I was like building teams in my head. I feel like theme teams are going to drop because you got to drop those 20 points to get IDs, and that can be 2 theme bonus on monsters or Latveria or something.
Right.
So I want a Moloid, or do I want a
2 IDs? Superman and a freaking Monica Rambeau or whatever.
There's several different ways to get in Perplex Pogs. You can do Quick Pride or so it's like, are you really trying to win map by having as many Moloids as you can, or are you trying to get as many Kate Prides Pogs?
I would say the average would be between 4 and 5, which is kind of what it was when it was in Modern, which is where I expect it to be.
Right. I think it's going to be closer to 3.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Because it's 10 points.
I guess
that's 10 points, or 9. That's 9. It's 9 or 15.
It depends.
It could also be that people just really want to play IDs after not playing them for a while, and I don't know. It's hard to predict.
Right.
Sure. It's hard for me to imagine a world where Superman ID is not an auto-include on my build.
Right.
Having Invincible for a turn and such a good attacker that my 10-point figure can call in, my Grodd can call in, just seems crazy to me.
That's right. So, all right. So we are nearing time for Paul to have to go to work tonight. So, let's do final thoughts. Paul, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I'm excited for. There's a lot of events I could go to, and I'm excited for that. And I don't know what else to say.
Right.
Yep.
Tyler.
Definitely excited for Disney Plus. I think it's got good things to show so far. Hope it continues. And then for Silver Age, I know I kind of have been crapping on it a little bit, but there is definitely some positives to running a new format. It's very fun to build like new teams and go through all this stuff. It's a really fun time. So excited to see the results of the first couple tournaments.
Yep, same here. So thanks for being on, Paul. Appreciate having you on, and congratulations on your win, and looking forward to some events coming up here for all of us. And thanks everybody for listening to Clixed Off today, and have a great rest of your day.
See ya.
Yep. Bye.